Scott, one of the guys I was with this weekend lives in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and we're planning on going to the LSU game in Alex Box Stadium at the end of the month. Have you ever been to Alex Box? And if you have, what kind of experience am I walking into behind enemy lines?
Well, I can't really tell you. I've never been there. But you're playing down at LSU, so you know if you've got on a little bit of red, you're going to have all kind of stuff thrown at you, and you're probably going to hear everything that you never really wanted to hear thrown at you. So,
and some of it you might not understand because it'll be in cage.
Yeah, and I think Clay has told this story, guys, on the show before. Didn't he get a whiskey bottle thrown at him in Death Valley?
Yes.
Yeah, I think I heard that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
pretty common occurrence.
Yeah.
It actually hit him. That's why I asked the way he does.
Listen, Clay is allowed to get as animated as possible if he gets a whiskey bottle thrown at him. But let's table the
There's long-lasting effects.
Yeah, Scott, let's table the LSU stuff because that's a month away. Just this team last night, Tommy was discussing earlier, some uncharacteristic errors. Patrick Wicklander had himself a really good game along with Kevin Kopps. They just couldn't get the bat on the ball. Is that kind of what you saw last night, the lack of hitting and the errors that you don't typically see?
Well, it's just two words. It's baseball, and everybody says that, and that's the fallback term. I mean, it's baseball because any night everybody's got a great arm. Everybody's got great pitchers. Their starting pitchers are all going to have good stuff. Auburn doesn't recruit scrubs. Arkansas doesn't recruit scrubs. So the kids they have coming in have talent. It's whether you can get all of that talent going in the right direction on the same night. And, like last night, Wicklander finally comes around, and he's the guy that we knew we had, and we have errors. And errors are going to get you kills. And like you can make an error. You can walk a guy, and he doesn't score, but you can make an error, and a guy's going to score. I don't know. They always come at the worst times. And then, hitting the ball. We hit a lot of their pitcher had the best pitch going in baseball. It's called the atom ball. You throw it up there and they hit it right at them. You can't do anything other than hit it hard. Can't make it go exactly where you want it to go.
Yeah, certainly had some loud outs last night. That warning track deep stuff, but
I love
outs.
that term.
They're just outs. Yeah. But all right, so give us the mentality. I'm sure this happened to you a time or two, and you played what AAA ball was kind of where it ended for you, but which is incredible. So Wicklander's out there, Kopps is out there. Wicklander goes 6 innings, and you got the atom balls, but you got those errors going on behind you. You only give up a home run on the total of 8 combined hits that Arkansas gave up as a staff. Wicklander only gave up the 2 runs, 1 earned, walked 1, struck out 8. So mentally, what are you going through? How are you processing that when you feel like you're pitching the gym and nothing else is working out for you?
As a pitcher, you kind of grind, and that's where the mental part of the game comes in. There's a lot of talent, in Division I college baseball. The thing that separates the men from the boys is their mentality. Can you go out there and as they say, it's a cliche, take it one hitter at a time, one pitch at a time, and you really have to do that. You have to know the situation and where your runners are and who's coming up, but you have to take it just one at a time because that's all you can control. And I think Wicklander did a really, really good job of controlling his emotions and not letting an error behind him or a rocket off the wall bother him. There's a lot of kids that'll lose it, and that's when they end up walking 2 or 3 guys, and you see the frustration in their face and their body language. And he did a really, really good job of that. So it's just you have to be able to go through and grind through a lineup. Yeah,
he was one of the guys early you expected to be a starter, and then you get to the season and you start paying more attention, and he's not in the rotation. And then what have you seen in his development? Because now he, obviously looks very solid as a starter, including last night in the losing effort. But what's changed with him from early in the season where he wasn't the starter to now he seems to be the number 1 guy?
Really, probably nothing has changed other than the fact that other kids that have come into the program, when he came in as a freshman, you see this new savior coming in because he's just such a uber talented kid. He had some physical problems, I think, this last year, and then losing last season, we didn't get to see his development there at all. He got through some physical stuff, I believe, and he's finally come back around to where he was as a freshman, plus some. He's bigger and he's stronger. He's not. You remember, he was kind of a wiry guy coming in as a freshman. He's not wiry anymore. He's thickened up and he's stronger, and mentally, just being around the game and being around the intensity they have in the Arkansas program. and having Hobbs in his ear and the other pitchers in his ear, and they're talking back and forth and working at it. It's just the natural development of a pitcher, and I think we're going to see some good stuff some more good stuff out of him. Last night was just a hiccup. I mean, those games are going to happen where you do everything right and you come out on the wrong end of it.
Kevin Kopps last night, 8 strikeouts, faced 12 batters, gave up 1 hit in 3 innings, struck out, like I said, the 8, just walked 1. Pretty incredible relief effort last night, and he's going to be, I'm sure, key to the rest of this weekend as well.
Right. Yeah. He's got such great stuff, and the reason he has great stuff is he can control. He throws a little cutter, and you can't tell if it's a cutter or a slider. There's not much difference between the two. And the recognition of that pitch is just almost impossible. Mariano Rivera threw a cutter that was just incredible. Guys know it's coming, and they know where he's going to throw it, and you just can't hit it because it doesn't have the traditional spin on it where you can see the spin and it slows down a little bit before it breaks. It just comes in and moves. So it's movement on the fastballs. And he'll throw 10 in a row, and they know it's coming, and you still can't hit it. So he's got good stuff, and he's showing this coaching staff that he's the guy. When you need to get out of a jam, he's the guy, and he's going to get you 2 or 3, 4 more innings until you can get to your closer.
Scott Tabor with this former Razorback pitcher, 1979 College World Series team. Scott, every time I flip on the SEC network and they're talking baseball, or I read a D1 article or just a baseball-related SEC article, everyone seems to be under the impression that Arkansas and Vanderbilt are on a collision course. Vanderbilt with the pitching, Rocker, I'm forgetting what their other guy that's really good, and then for Arkansas, just the hitting. I know it wasn't there last night. Is this team, is that the expectation this year, that this team ends up back in Omaha at the College World Series? Is that the sense you're getting?
I think at Arkansas, that expectation, Arkansas and Vanderbilt both, the expectation is there for each of our programs every single year. I mean, that's, winning the conference or doing well and not finishing at the bottom of the bucket is not the goal anymore. Mm-hmm. The goal is to go to Omaha. And that's when your program has reached an elite status. You don't go to Duke to play basketball hoping that you'll possibly, tie for the conference championship and get a chance to get in that large bid. That's not why you go there. And that's not the way the program is built. So it's at that point right now. Vanderbilt's the same way. They attract some of the best talented and most talented kids in the country every year. And so, it comes down to putting together what you have on paper, getting it out between the lines. And they are built, both teams are built on pitching. Our hitting, except our hitting did pretty well the last week or so, but you run into a good pitcher who's got his good stuff that particular night, and it can shut down good hitting. So I think on paper the consensus is Arkansas, Vanderbilt, but Florida's got a lot of talent. They haven't done real well yet so far, but they've got a lot of talent. LSU's got talent. They haven't kind of put it together, but you can get on a run in baseball. And there's always going to be injuries. There's going to be some arms who can come up lame. Rocker could step on a baseball and twist an ankle, and all of a sudden Rocker's not Rocker. It's a lot of things can happen over season.
Yeah, it's a shame that Arkansas and Vanderbilt don't have a regular season series this year. They perhaps will meet in the SEC tournament, perhaps in postseason play somewhere. But that's one of the things I think college baseball and just fans of SEC baseball would love to be treated to this year.
Yeah, hopefully, we'll get treated to in the World Series. I mean, what a fantastic venue that would be. Arkansas, Vanderbilt hadn't seen each other all year. Everybody's healthy, and, you're going to see a lot of good pitching. A lot of great pitching.
I'd love for it to be maybe a best of 3, too. That'd mean you'd hung around.
That wouldn't be bad.
All right, so
if you have to write it up, might as well write it up that way.
Yeah, might as well go ahead and go for the championship round. All right, game tonight, game Saturday. This is a Thursday, Friday, Saturday series for the Easter weekend. What are you looking for out of Dave Van Horn's club these next 2 games?
I think Dave will say the same thing. He'll gather them all up. He said, look, last night was just one of those days. We've all had them. We've all been there. Dave had them as a player. He's had them as a coach over the years many, many, many times. Put his hand on the shoulder. Said, look, just come back tomorrow and play your game. Have a good batting practice, take a good infield, stay focused. Home crowd will be there. The weather's going to be a little bit warmer tonight, I think. Just go back and go get them. That's really all you can do. And I think the Hogs will rebound. Hopefully they'll hit the ball a little bit better, get into the bullpen a little bit quicker, and it'll take off from there.
Scott, appreciate it, buddy. Hopefully they'll get 2 against Auburn this weekend, close out the series. We'll do it next Friday, okay?
All right, brother. Thank you.
All right, Scott Tabor with us every Friday here on the Morning Rush.